Coming up, a police officer fatally shot in New Jersey.
And a deadly volcanic eruption has left an island in shambles.
All that and more today, Wednesday, December 11th. Good morning, Emerson. I'm Lauren Granada.
And I'm Angel Salcida.
We begin with the latest on a shootout in New Jersey. 6 people were killed in a gun battle Tuesday in Jersey City. The 2 gunmen, a police officer, and 3 bystanders died from gunshot wounds.
Tough day for the Jersey Police Department. These people work tirelessly in very, very tough conditions, and we're going to notify the family, but it's one of our best police officers, and a tough day for the Jersey Police Department.
The slain officer was investigating a murder and approached the suspects when one of them opened fire. The suspects ran off, but police tracked them down a mile away where the shooting continued. Authorities say 2 other officers were wounded but were later released from the hospital. All schools in the surrounding area were put in lockdown.
A volcano eruption has killed 5 and left 8 missing. The volcano in New Zealand erupted on Monday at 2 p.m. on White Island. 31 have been hospitalized after being rescued from the chaos. American tourists are among the missing, along with people from Australia, China, Malaysia, and the United Kingdom. Questions are being raised of the tour operators who allowed them to tour the active volcano even after warnings of increased activity. The island is packed full of ash as reconnaissance flights continue to look for any signs of life.
The state of California is fining CVS for $3.6 million for failing to redeem deposits on bottles and cans at some of its locations. CalRecycle said its investigation found that 81 of CVS Pharmacy's 848 retail stores in California refused to redeem the recyclables or pay a required $100 daily fee as an alternative. CalRecycle filed the enforcement action last week, and CVS can seek a hearing if it wants to contest the fine. This is the largest enforcement action ever taken against a retailer for failing to redeem recyclables.
A nationwide moment of silence was taken for the death of a UPS driver. Frank Ordonez was killed in a police shootout this past weekend. He had his truck carjacked and was taken hostage before having his life taken from him. UPS drivers around the country were asked to participate in the moment of silence on Monday. The company released a statement that it was not a coordinated effort, but that workers were welcome to honor the moment. Ordonez leaves behind his 2 daughters, ages 3 and 5.
Pete Frates, whose battle with ALS inspired the Ice Bucket Challenge, has died at age 34. Frates was diagnosed in 2012 with Lou Gehrig's disease, which weakens muscles and impairs physical functioning. In 2014, Frates and Pat Quinn inspired the Ice Bucket Challenge, and approximately 17 million people around the world doused themselves with a bucket of icy water. The challenge raised more than $220 million in donations for work on a cure for the debilitating illness. Frates is a Beverly native and former Boston College baseball star.
Well, Lauren, it feels like it's gotten so much colder overnight.
It sure has. Let's head over to our weather correspondent, Samantha Johns, for more on the cold temperatures moving in. Sam?
Good morning, everyone. It's been warm the past few days in Boston, but temperatures dropped from the 60s to the 30s overnight. The extreme weather fluctuation is something we will continue to see going into the rest of this season. Right now, we're seeing temperatures in the lower 30s across New England in areas such as Burlington, Keene, and Boston. Snow showers will continue to fall today until around noon. While it will be colder, we will see the sun return, keeping temperatures steady in the mid-30s. Going into our 5-day forecast, we'll see rain lingering into our weekend plans. Thursday, a sunny day overall, high of 33. Friday will be cloudy with a low of 43. Saturday, we'll see rain most of the day with a high of 58. Then Sunday, the rain will linger into the morning with a low of 34. Lauren and Angel, we will see some rain lingering into the weekend. How's that affecting your weekend plans?
I mean, I guess it's just a stay-in kind of weekend, right? Netflix and hot chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, it's New England, right? I mean, we had 2 days. We had Sunday and Monday where it was 60 degrees, 55 degrees, and then all of a sudden it's 28 degrees and it's pouring snow. I don't understand this place.
Right.
But we live here, so let's now head over to our political correspondent, Annie Bennett. Annie, what do you have for us?
House of Representatives is officially releasing 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump. He is being charged with abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The report for abuse of power says that, quote, using the powers of high office, President Trump solicited interference of a foreign government, Ukraine, in the 2020 United States presidential election, end quote. In regard to obstruction of Congress, Trump is being charged in response to calling the investigation a, quote, hoax, unquote, and refusing to cooperate. Next, the Senate will vote whether or not to remove Trump from office. If 2/3 vote in favor, Trump will no longer be president. That would require every Democrat and 20 Republicans voting for impeachment. Yesterday, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov met with President Trump to discuss the relationship between Russia and the United States. The Justice Department's watchdog released a report about the FBI investigation regarding Russian interference in the 2016 election. Despite President Trump's claims that the investigation was political and unjustified, the report concluded this was not the case. It confirmed that the FBI had valid reasoning to investigate Russia. However, it did outline multiple errors done by the FBI, including, quote, alleged document tampering, end quote. The Kentucky abortion law will stand. Supreme Court refused to hear a case about an abortion law in Kentucky. Doctors in Kentucky are required to show ultrasound images and videos of fetal heartbeats to pregnant individuals seeking abortion. Supporters claim that this is merely requiring doctors to provide patients with all information available. Opponents of the law claim that it's a scare tactic designed to prevent women from seeking abortions. The Supreme Court has not commented on why it will not hear the case. Many pro-choice advocates fear the effect this will have on Roe v. Wade. Last week, we reported on Representative Duncan Hunter. He pled guilty to misusing campaign funds. He has now announced that he will be resigning from his position in Congress. The House Ethics Committee has requested he not vote in Congress in response to his guilty plea. For the last time this semester, I'm Andy Bennett.
Thanks, Andy. When we return, Emily Sanger is here to talk to us about her new music.
Don't go anywhere.
Double cupping has been a notoriously New England trend for years, but the environmental effects have been grounds for getting rid of the beloved styrofoam cups. The new paper cups have New Englanders divided.
I just feel like that's a waste of their own money, kind of. And if your hand gets cold holding an iced coffee, I feel like that's a you problem.
I like the styrofoam cups. I think it keeps the coffee hotter.
In the cold winter months, it's almost unbearable to hold your iced coffee without a foam cup. Now residents are being forced to do so as they're being replaced with paper cups.
Consciously uncoupling. We wanted to maybe do it in a very Duncan way, put a little humor into the situation to sort of ease this transition as we go through it.
I Skyped with the COO of Dunkin' Brands to understand the controversial change. A former double cupper himself, Scott Murphy understands why uncoupling may be hard for users.
The double cupping is important because it obviously kept your iced coffee drink colder longer, prevented your hand from getting cold, prevented that sort of perspiration and sort of that sweat ring that would show up on your desk.
Despite this, Murphy says the feedback is generally positive and the company stands by their choice.
Clearly, there's some environmental issues with styrofoam, and our commitment to go to the paper cups has been applauded pretty widely.
The new paper cups are still not recyclable due to a special wax lining, but Murphy says that there are plans in the future to roll out ones that will be.
We've been on a 10-year journey on this cup, and it's certainly not over. We're just on a journey to continually get better.
The double cup breakup can be hard on many, but it will keep 1 billion foam cups out of the water stream every year. Reporting in Boston, I'm Elizabeth Perkin.
Coming up, a shortage in potatoes may leave Americans without French fries.
And is your new smart TV spying on you?
All that and more today, Wednesday, December 4th. Good morning, Emerson. I'm Lauren Granada.
And I'm Angel Salcido.
All right, French fry lovers, listen up. Angel, I hope you're listening, because there are real fears of a French fry shortage due to cold, wet weather that has severely damaged potato crops in the U.S. and in Canada. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, we're expected to see a 6.1% decline in potato crops, and the fewer potatoes that are surviving the damage are coming in smaller. so you might want to look for some other side ideas for your burger.
$5 million is being offered for leads on an American citizen. Jihad Sirwan Mostafa was placed on the FBI's most wanted terrorist list for allegedly assisting terrorist al-Shabaab. U.S. Attorney Robert Brewer says al-Shabaab threatens U.S. national security, its international allies, and innocent civilians. He asked for the public's assistance in capturing Mostafa and disrupting al-Shabaab. Mostafa was formerly a resident of San Diego, but is now believed to be in Somalia.
A second woman says she was drugged and raped after visiting a nightclub in Chicago. The allegation comes a week after another woman filed a lawsuit accusing El Jefe's security guards of standing by as she was sexually assaulted in the back alley. Liz Capra said when she saw the video, she decided to come forward about her own similar experience when she went to the nightclub in 2014. Capra said she hopes her decision to come forward encourages other potential victims to tell their stories.
And someone may be spying on you. The FBI released a warning that smart TVs could be used to spy on consumers. The TVs used worldwide can have their cameras and microphones hacked, and in a worst-case scenario, they can be used to silently cyberstalk you. The FBI asked the public to educate themselves on the security settings of their devices. They also recommend keeping your software updated at all times.
And existential is Dictionary.com's 2019 Word of the Year. Now, what does existential mean, you ask? Well, it has two definitions, meaning of or relating to existence, and concerned with the nature of human existence as determined by the individual's freely made choices. Pretty deep, huh? Dictionary.com says the word was primarily searched in conjunction with climate change, gun violence, and democratic institutions.
Well, Lauren, it looks like the snow and the rain have finally
Sure
stopped.
does. Let's head over to our weather correspondent, Samantha Johns, for more on this multi-day storm. Sam.
Good morning, everyone. The first winter storm has finally moved offshore. We were hit with 2 rounds of this wintry mix Sunday through yesterday, delaying travel plans and making for a messy commute. The good news is the snow has cleared out overnight. Right now we're seeing temperatures in the lower 30s across New England in areas such as Boston, Worcester, and Hartford. A moderate breeze will be felt today as wind gusts start to die down. We'll see temperatures inch up to 40 degrees heading into the evening. Although cloudy, the warmer temperatures will make for a great day. Going into our 5-day forecast, we'll see snow make another appearance this week. Thursday, a sunny day overall. We'll stay in the mid to upper 30s. Friday will be snow, coming into the evening, low of 23. Saturday, we'll see the snow return with a high of 30. Then Sunday, temperatures will jump up to the lower 40s. Angel and Lauren, how did you guys feel about the winter that we just experienced so far?
Well, I'm not a big fan of the slush, I need to be honest, but I understand in the meteorological calendar, we have entered winter technically.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we entered winter like a month ago. I mean, it feels like every single year it gets earlier and earlier and earlier, and I mean, it's not great right now. Let's head over to our Michael Cerullo filling in for Annie Bennett this morning. Mike, who will be testifying at the impeachment hearings today?
Good morning, Angel and Lauren. The impeachment investigation is still in full swing. The Judiciary Committee is launching its first hearing today. 4 witnesses are set to testify, 3 Democrats and 1 Republican. Republicans are voicing concerns about this imbalance. President Trump has refused to get involved with the hearings because he claims that they are pointless and biased. Yesterday, the House released their official report on the impeachment inquiry. It officially states that Trump should be removed from office due to his behavior. The document says that his motivations for pressuring Ukraine were for personal and political gain. In other news, Kamala Harris has officially dropped out of the 2020 presidential election. She stated that the decision was due to lack of finances. Many in the California senator's jurisdiction are extremely disappointed at the announcement. She represented diversity and youth in the election to a lot of people. Steve Bullock and Joe Sestak also dropped out over the last week. That leaves 15 Democratic candidates in the race with 2 weeks left until the Iowa caucuses. France and the United States are in conflict regarding NATO and tariffs. France's President Emmanuel Macron called NATO, quote, brain dead. Trump has come out in defense of the organization. He also threatened to increase French tariffs in the United States by up to 100%. This proposal was announced after discovering the harmful effects that France's new taxes could have on American tech companies.
You just can't go around making statements like that about NATO. It's very disrespectful.
How is the relationship with the president ongoing in these meetings?
I think it's fine. I've always had a good relationship with Emmanuel.
Trump also went on to say that if anyone was going to take advantage of American companies, it would be America. California Republican Representative Duncan Hunter has pled guilty to misusing campaign funds. Hunter used the money to fund relationships, vacations, and other personal expenses. Hunter had previously aggressively denied the allegations, but now he's admitting to the charges. Hunter has not said if he will resign, even though he might face prison time. That's all I have for politics today. Back to you, Lauren and Angel.
Thanks, Mike. Let's now head over to our Boston news correspondent, Andrew Brinker, who sat down with City Councilor Ed Flynn.
City Councilor Ed Flynn is fresh off the campaign trail. Just last month, Flynn, the son of former Boston Mayor Raymond Flynn, coasted to an unopposed re-election. In 2020, he'll serve his third consecutive term as a representative for the city's 2nd District, stretching from South Boston to the Boston Common and including Emerson College. I met Flynn at City Hall in the council chambers where he spends his days serving on committees with colleagues, workshopping the city's issues.
I sit right here.
Yeah?
I sit right here. My colleague, Michael Flaherty, sits here. Althea Garrison is here. And City Councilor Kim Janey is right there.
As Flynn turns his focus to the upcoming 2020 term, housing accessibility, he said, an issue that hits home in District 2, is on the top of his priority list. More residents of the district live in public housing than anywhere else in the city, and the district is also home to thousands of college students.
Housing is always an issue, affordable housing, making sure Boston is a city for everybody, especially low-income families, working-class families, our immigrant neighbors, but that we're inclusive and we treat everybody fairly.
Ultimately, Flynn said that his time on the council so far has been exhausting but rewarding, a feeling he hopes he'll feel again in 2020.
Is it a glamorous job?
It's not a glamorous job, but it's a job that you have to work hard at.
In City Hall, Andrew Brinker, the Emerson Channel. Thanks, Andrew. We're going to take a quick break.
But when we return, singer-songwriter Sava Katami will be sitting down with us to talk about her music. Don't go anywhere.